morning, everyone. Happy Asian Heritage Month. My name is Jody Huang, and I'm the Community Relations Officer of the Toronto Catholic District School Board. I am so excited today because we have Asian musicians, and we will be learning music from the best today. But before that, I would like to ground ourselves first with our land acknowledgement and prayer. And I'm joined here today by Mr. Bob Longo, who would be stating our land acknowledgement.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bob Longo. I am the music resource teacher from the Toronto Catholic District School Board. Thanks for joining us today. The land we walk on belongs to the Creator. Earth does not belong to humanity, but rather, humanity is a part of the earth. The land was created to be enjoyed by all living beings, a principle reflected in the Dish with One Spoon covenant, taking only what we need to preserve our earth for future generations, leaving some for others as a sign of our respect and caring, and keeping it clean by revitalizing the land to sustain generations to come. All Toronto Catholic District School Board properties are situated upon the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat peoples. We recognize that the land covered by Treaty 13 is held by the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. I want to remind you, we take a moment here, and all the land that we are on music has been created on this land by generations before us. So when we create music today, we are joining them in the celebration of spirit. We also listen to the echoes of their prayers to the Creator and respect the beauty of Mother Earth while striving to learn and draw wisdom from the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis traditions.
Thank you, Bob. And for our prayer, people are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, there may be jealousy. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Amen. Thank you so much, everyone. That poem by Mother Teresa is so beautiful. Again, welcome, students and teachers. Today, our theme for this year's Asian Canadian Heritage Month is Asian Canadian Legacy. We contribute, we serve. Indeed, there's a lot of contributions from 51 countries, the biggest continent in the world, Bob, that we would be so remiss to mention all the contributions, but we won't have time to say all of that today. Yesterday, we just spoke about the contributions of Asians in literary arts. So today, we will be talking about contributions of Asians in the musical arts. So what do you think about that, Bob?
That's fabulous. Can't wait to hear it. I know that we've met some of these guests before, and I'm quite excited to meet our new guests that we haven't seen yet.
They are incredible. And to help us introduce our guests, I would like to call on Bo San Caranchas. She is a familiar face. She's been with us for quite some time already, and students know her already. So, Bo, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jody. Can everyone hear me? I'm just testing out my voice.
Yes.
Okay, loud and clear. Great. It's really nice to be hosting today and so honored to be here again. Over the past years, I'm a proud supporter of the Canadian Foundation for Asian Culture. And it's an exciting presentation today because I'm going to be introducing 3 guests. I'm not going to be speaking very much today. I'm going to introduce these guests. They are incredible contributors to Canada in the industry of music, and they're actually quite busy artists. They travel all over the world to share their gifts, to share their compositions, and to share their performances. And we're really lucky that we have a slice of their time today. So I'm going to take it away and I'm going to introduce our guests. We will start with Alice Ho. She is a talented pianist and composer, followed by Kanin Chan, who is an educator and also composer as well. And finally, Vania Chan, who is also an educator and a singer. And their stories are going to highlight how important it is to have cultural pride and perseverance, and how important the power of music is in overcoming obstacles and also sharing stories. So it's really, really, really great to have everybody here. And before I introduce Alice Ho, I'm just going to give a little background about Canada and how we want to celebrate this month. So Canada, as you know, is a very special country. We have lots of people from different backgrounds where their families started somewhere else, lived very far, and now they're here. And it's like a beautiful, colorful quilt. We've got lots of different backgrounds celebrating their cultures. And just like Jody said, this month is about Asian heritage. And we want to highlight that there are 7 million Asians in Canada, which is an incredible patchwork in the Canadian quilt. Out of the 7 million people, we have had to, pay respects for the history that Asians have been through in Canada. It's been, not always easy for Asian Canadians to have equal rights. But, there's so many people who have paved the way for us, and we're going to meet 3 of them today. They're going to inspire us with their stories, and we're going to interview them now. And the first one is going to be Alice Ho. Okay, so I have Alice Ho with me. Alice is a composer, so she writes music. Her music gets played all over the world, and she also plays the piano. She mixes sounds from her family's heritage with also new and modern ideas, which makes her music very, very unique. So, based off, this long history of musical composers, many eras ago, women were not usually making music, actually, but now women are very much a part of the scene. Alice is a major contributor to the Canadian music industry, and we're so happy to have her. Alice, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, we're very excited. So I'm going to get right to the interview questions. I had a few questions actually given to me prior to this presentation from the classroom. So we're going to try to, put those in as well. So let's go and let's talk about what makes you proud to be part of your culture, Alice. Let's start with that.
Yeah, I am Chinese Canadian. And China is one of the oldest countries in the world. It has over 5,000 years of civilization and history. And where I'm coming from really teaches me about respect, beauty, strength, and also creativity. And, through music, languages, traditions, I feel, being Chinese really connect me to my family and my ancestors. And I think through my music, like, the pieces I compose, the pieces I play, also empower me who I am and help me to find my root. So I'm very proud and to have this special piece as an artist.
Well, that's really good to know, because sometimes, as an Asian Canadian myself, it's tough to find that identity, and to be proud of that identity is really important, especially these days. And so how do you bring that to your music? How do you add this element of pride and culture into your own music and your art?
Yeah, I think in a lot of my works, I bring the sound of China. It is, it could be traditional melodies, but, sometimes I reinvent it in a different way and, introduce the audience to the sound of Chinese instrument, which I use it quite often in a number of my large works, mainly operas. And also the most important thing is storytelling, because, a lot of this tradition embedded in the mythology. There are so many beautiful tales in every civilization, and China is so rich in this culture. So it is a rich resource for me to discover and investigate. I think lately I'm very proud of particularly two works. One is an opera Chinatown, which I discovered the dialect Hoisanese, which is a very early language spoken by the Chinese immigrant who find their settlement in Vancouver, Chinatown many years ago. Go back to the 1890s to the early 1960s. And I don't speak Hoisanese, but through this project, I learned this important dialect, which is quite rare. And the other opera is a fun one. It's called The Monkey's King, which is a commission from the Canadian Children's Opera Company to celebrate their 50th anniversary. So I use the most famous superhero in the Chinese tale, the Monkey King, to teach children about the lesson of to be good, to fight evil, and learn humanity. And so all these things, I also incorporate the Chinese instrument, and also the children are learning to speak Mandarin and Cantonese. So all these things, I hope through the music will teach the next generation about my culture.
That is just such a beautiful story. And like, what language do you speak, Alice?
Cantonese is my mother tongue, and I learned to speak Mandarin when I, moved to Canada, when I raised my family, but primarily English and Cantonese.
Oh, okay, yeah. And do you use some of that language in your pieces as well?
There are quotations of the Cantonese, let's say in the children's opera, when they depict the villagers, because Cantonese is a more rural language, it's a bit, coarse, and Mandarin is, the national language of China. So I combine the two things to reflect the two different sides of culture. Let's say the Goddess of Mercy, when she recites, she will speak Mandarin. And when the children sing about the birth of the Monkey King, they will also sing in Mandarin. But when there's a chase and counting, so I use Cantonese to reflect the different drama employed in the opera.
I love that. I really want to play for everybody a little snippet of The Monkey's King. This is the opera that she's talking about. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share this tab, and I will play for you a little bit of Alice's music. Okay, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear the sounds?
Not the audio, but I can hear you. Not the music.
You know what? I'm going to just give me 1 second here. I'm going to try to connect. We were having this problem earlier. And so let me just share my screen one more time. Alice, you know what? While we're waiting, I'd love if you could just tell us about what challenges you faced on your way to becoming a composer, and how did you overcome them? Can you tell us about that? Can you tell us about the challenges during your experience, and maybe about being a woman and being an Asian Canadian?
Right. I think when I started out to study music, I started out as a pianist, and then my interest turned into composing music. And I then realized that are not many people like me as a visual minority as a Chinese woman composer. There are not many, people like me, and I encounter a lot of untrust, and I feel I have to work much harder.
Sorry, Alice, you've hit your mute. I'm just going to try to share the sound. We can go back and let you answer that question again, but let me just see if this works. If I can play this. Can you hear that okay?
No, no sound.
Oh, this fun stuff. Also share audio. Share a tab. Open screen. Okay. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I can hear it, but we can't hear it in the StreamYard. So maybe if you could answer that question again, I'm going to go away, and if you could repeat the answer to the question that you just were saying before.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this always happens. So coming back to the challenges that I faced, I think in the history of music, there aren't that many women composers, and being especially a visual minority as a Chinese Canadian women composer, I think when I started out, there are a lot of disbelief. I feel I have to work much harder to prove myself, and I think the biggest challenge for me is to be resilient, is to trust my passion, and then overcome a lot of obstacles. And also, my advice is whoever has a dream, has a passion, I think one have to have the courage and determination to pursue it. And yeah, I think the victory will be shared eventually if you believe in yourself.
That's wonderful. That's great. I think I have a way to play this sound. Just see if you can hear this now.
You think you have caught me, but wait until you see. I have another trick up my sleeve. Oh, winter, winter, let me down, let me down.
Now, that was a little snippet of Alice's music. You can hear a little bit of the Asian culture in the Monkeist King, but also with the opera sound and the singing, it's very much a mixed fusion kind of feel. Is that right, Alice?
Yeah. I think it's very tiny bit. So I think the opera will present a lot more, with costume, with movements, with chorus, solo voices, and we have 10-piece orchestra of a mixed Chinese and Western instruments. So it would be quite, I hope it's quite entertaining and educational to everyone.
That's amazing. Actually, I will be going to see it. I'll be there on the premiere night, and I just found out that Bob will be as well. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, and also here's the photos. Now this was on stage in this is Vancouver, right, Alice?
No, this is actually at the Meridian Arts Theatre, the Lyric Theatre, back in 2018, when during its premiere. That was the 50th anniversary of the Canadian Children's Opera Company. So this year we have a new production at the Harbourfront Centre. We have a new director, and I'm excited to see the amazing staging and everything. And also they already have 2 presentations yesterday at the COC, the Four Seasons Amphitheatre. And yeah, it's quite amazing how the kids can do. They are so talented.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see them. And like, it looks like a really great production. Thank you so much, Alice. You are just a wonder to this industry, and an inspiration to all the women and girls who want to become musicians, who are also Asian Canadian. It's a really wonderful journey that you've been on, and we're so happy that we got a slice of your time. I know, Alice is actually going to, I believe, Newfoundland this weekend to accept a really prestigious award. She's always traveling, and so I'm really happy that we got to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, okay, so as you noticed, my environment changed a little bit. I had to navigate, all these technical difficulties here. But now I'm back, and maybe a little bit darker, but I'm here, and I really want to continue with our 2 other guests. Right now, I'm going to introduce Chan Kanin. So I have this presentation slide of Chan Kanin. Are you there, Kanin?
I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Oh, there you are. Hello. How are you today?
Not too bad. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so Kanin was actually a professor of music at University of Toronto. So he was an educator for many, many years. And throughout his profession, he was also composing music and performing, and his pieces were performed all over the world. He's also a 2-time Juno Award winner. So this is the biggest prize in Canada. Very, very excited to have Kanin here. Kanin writes music. He teaches others how to compose. And, the one powerful story about Kanin I want to share is that even at first, his family wanted him to pursue something different. But he broke through and he chased his dreams. He wanted to be in music, and he now is so successful. And I think that's really inspiring to the younger generation. So let's get started. How did your family support your dreams of becoming a musician? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
A short answer is, at the beginning, they didn't support, and later on, they do support. I think to answer the question actually is, at my young age, I don't know what my dreams are. I think I might have 2 areas of interest. One is music, and I usually treat it as a part-time thing to do. And the other thing is in science. I'm sort of fairly good in mathematics and physics. So growing up, I wanted to be an engineer, and that's what I always do. But when I first came to Canada, when at the age of 15, I was introduced to school band, and I really enjoyed it. And at the university, I get the chance to take lessons from the famous Canadian composer Jean Cozart. And with her help and encouragement, my interest in music also grew. Mm-hmm. And so eventually, after graduating from engineering, I thought I'd give music a try and pursue my sort of second dream. So at that time, when I told my parents I want to, leave engineering, start something new, they were really disappointed because they didn't know I was serious about that. So it was traumatic in a way. Eventually, I did spend more time studying music, and luckily get a job.
So you got a job in music after, is that right? Or engineering?
Yeah, in music, and that's made my parents happy.
Yes, and they were quite happy with your journey. As at the end, of course, they've seen you on stage, they've seen you win all these awards, and that's really, really inspiring because not many young people know what they want to do, and that's and you know, maybe their parents have a vision for them, but it's wonderful that you chased your dream. And I think that's very important. Now, as a composer, what role does your cultural background play in your work?
It came in a bit later, actually. Initially, my interest in Western music, but my teacher pointed to me in my to explore my roots. One of the first thing my teacher Jin Kota told me is he asked me at that time I have an English name, and she asked me what is your Chinese name. I told her it's Kanin, and he said you should use that name. Only about 20 years later, after I graduation and all the studies, I said, yes, I'll use my Chinese name. And from there on, I tried to discover all sorts of my culture in China. And in my works, I use Chinese poems. I use Chinese legends, as mentioned before, like legends like the Monkey King. And, you know, in China, there's a lot of festivals like the Moon Festival, the Dragon Boat Festival, the Ancestors Day. So all these are very good subjects for artistic work. One thing I realized that my Chinese culture has is also the fact that the early on there are Chinese pioneers working on the railroad in Canada, and so I wrote an opera about their story. So that aspect surprised me a little bit that my Chinese would relate to part of history of Canada in a way. So that's another direction that is affected by my cultural background.
It sounds like that at first, and I know that your English name is Francis. So at first, you embodied Francis. You're this young man coming to Canada, and you know, you have this English name, and you were also inspired by your educator, by your teacher, to really incorporate your culture and really be proud. And that is also something to be said. You not only did you chase your dream, but you're also now becoming and owning this identity of yours, and that's very cool. I think that not many people are brave enough to have that pride, and so that's a really also another inspiring fact about your journey. So you know, I asked this to Alice as well, but it's always nice to know how you overcame some of the obstacles you faced. Were there any in your journey?
Yes, two, if I might want to simplify it, money and time.
Okay. Yes, that's everyone's obstacle.
Yes.
Yeah. And can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. When I want to study music, because of the quarrel with my family, I left home briefly, so I have to sustain myself, take a job, washing dishes and doing waitressing.
Wow.
So in my study years, I do have to work to sustain myself. And time would be it takes me a long time for my education. So after high school, spent 5 years in engineering, and after that I've spent another 2 years in undergrad music and master degree, and total of 12 years altogether.
Wow.
So, yes, so I just learned have to be patient. And that is my struggle, especially in my third and fourth year of engineering. I know I want to go to music, but I still try to prove myself that I can do engineering, and I have to prove it to myself and maybe to others that I can do both. So that was an obstacle I have to go overcome to. Just to make sure that I pursue my dream at the end. And so, yeah, patience is what one needs.
And patience is a virtue, as we all know. It's definitely hard and it's hard not to be frustrated, you know, and to not be able to see the success after 12 years. patience is a really important tool. And so you heard it here from a very successful composer. He had incredible perseverance. Studying for 12 years is not easy, especially when you had this, change of heart. So that's incredible. I really love that. What's one key message you want to share with the class, the classrooms, and how do you want to inspire the kids to chase their dreams other than having some patience?
My sort of inspiration perhaps would be for everyone to look at the present at the time. What interests you right now and today? And anything that's interesting, go after it and try to learn as much as you can. Try it out. Don't be afraid of failure. Keep trying and keep learning, and also associate yourself with the people you would like to be. Like if you want to be a writer, know some writers, friends, and you want to be a composer, be among musicians and so on. So I think also patience, as I mentioned. One thing I would have to point out would be, just because you have a degree in something doesn't mean you are in successful, especially in arts. And unlike, say, nursing, if you have a degree, you can practice as a nurse. But if you have a degree in composition, that might not, you might not become the John Williams of the world. So you have to set your goal and be realistic in your goal, and maybe have a plan B as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very reasonable. John Williams, everybody, is the composer who wrote the music to Jurassic Park. Is that right? Or no, Star Wars, I think. So the takeaways here are patience, and also to really be in the present, follow your interests, and surround yourself with the people that you are inspired and expanded by. So that's really great takeaways. Thank you so much, Kanine, for joining us. And it was lovely to have you. I liked all your answers. I hope everyone else did too.
Thank you for asking me.
Thank you. And so now, everybody, we're going to go and meet Vanya Chan. I have a little presentation slide here of Vanya. She's just in some beautiful costumes on stage. Here she is singing. And Vanya, thank you so much for joining us. I had the pleasure of participating in some events with Vanya over the last few years, and it's just been so lovely to meet you. And your story is also very inspiring. So I'm very happy that we get to have your time as well this morning and to share your story with the kids. So Vanya sings and also helps kids discover music. She shares songs in many languages, and that shows how music unites all of us. And that's, she also reminds us to be proud of your story and that your voice is your superpower, because her voice is incredible, just so good. So Vanya, let's get started. Who or what inspired you to be a singer or to become a musician?
First of all, hi, Bo, and hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And in terms of who inspired me to be a musician, as a kid, I've always had an ear for music. If I heard a melody, I would immediately repeat it and sing it out loud or play it on the piano. But really what inspired me is storytelling. Alice actually referred to storytelling earlier. I love stories, reading stories, telling stories, creating them. And ultimately, I discovered that music was a form of storytelling, and it completely drew me in. I fell in love with cartoon musicals and live musical theater. And I just loved how people kept breaking into song and singing to express their emotions. And I wanted to do the same. When I was in kindergarten, I remember singing on the school bus out loud for all to hear, not realizing that I was bugging the other kids around me. And some of the kids started making fun of me, but the bus driver, she enjoyed my singing. So she let me sit closer to her in the seat right behind her so she could listen to me. And at the end of the school year, she wrote me a little note on a piece of stationery shaped like a frog, and encouraged me to keep on singing through life. And I did.
Oh my gosh, that is so heartwarming. That's so lovely, and, you know,
Yeah.
it reminds me of moments where I hear little young people singing,
Mhm.
and I take notice because, you know, it starts really early, and I think that that's something that people can recognize, and, you know, if you're taking joy in singing, on the bus or, you know, in the shower, it's
Yeah.
something to recognize.
Mhm.
And so in your youth, did you have, like, an Asian role model in the arts or any role model at all? Who could expanded your journey?
Um, well, my family is very fond of the music and singing of Teresa Tang. She's a Taiwanese pop star and is considered one of the most successful and influential Asian artists of all time. I was often exposed to her music and singing voice as I was growing up. The soft tone of her voice was particularly mesmerizing, and I responded to her voice. Listening to her made me want to sing with her and to sing like her. And another artist that had a profound impact on me and still inspires me is the musical theater legend Lea Salonga from the Philippines.
Oh.
My cultural background is actually a Chinese Filipino, so it was inspiring to see her career rise on the musical theater stage. And she also made animation history as the singing voice of two Disney characters, Jasmine from Aladdin and
Oh,
Mulan.
wow.
Right, so it's amazing, and as a kid, it didn't really dawn on me, the impact that these 2 women had in the music world as pioneers for Asian women and Asian artists in general. Um, I responded and related first and foremost to the sound of their singing voice, and then as I got older, I realized that their work, opened the doors and helped clear a path for future generations and for artists like me, allowing me the opportunity to forge a career in the arts as an Asian woman.
I see. And did they sing in when you were inspired by them, did they sing in different languages or just English?
Teresa Tang, definitely, she sang in Mandarin and Cantonese, Japanese too. I believe she was fluent in Japanese as well.
Mm,
Lea Salonga obviously sings in Tagalog, the Filipino language,
right.
English, and also I'm not sure if she's fluent in other languages, but she's definitely been a representative of Asian culture and has been a part of musicals that promote Asian heritage, like Miss Saigon, for instance. And there was another one that she did recently. I can't remember the title of it, but it was in collaboration with actor George Takei, who is famously known for his role in Star Trek sci-fi. So yes, so she's just, and she still is too. She's, I think, in her mid 50s now, but still sounds like the classic Disney princess voice that she is, and just continuing to sort of to promote multiculturalism and diversity in the arts. Yeah.
I love that. And if, you know, at just after this next question, we're gonna hopefully play a sound clip from Vanya's channel. And I believe that you sing like a Disney princess too, and so does my daughter. And so I love that. But before we go to that sound clip, I just want to, because we had this theme going about pride. Alice talked about being proud, and also Kanin showed us his journey. He told us, you know, how he changed his name back to his Asian name, and that showed that he was proud of his culture. What makes you proud to be a part of your Chinese and Filipino background, and how does that shape you?
Well, I was born in Canada, and so for the most part, I grew up immersed in North American pop culture and popular music. And through high school and university, I began focusing on classical music, Western art music, which has its roots mainly in European culture. So I was learning to sing in languages far removed from my own heritage. And as much as I enjoy singing the challenging music of Mozart, Bach, and Handel, there was a bit of a cultural disconnect. It wasn't until I met composers Alice Ho and Kanin Chan and started singing their compositions that I started fully exploring my musical abilities through works that celebrated both Chinese and Western cultures. I began to sing in different Chinese dialects, Mandarin, Cantonese, and even Hoi San. And I've collaborated with instrumentalists who specialize in Chinese instruments like pipa and erhu, and now I'm familiar with those sounds of those instruments as well. And I'm also more exposed to Chinese history, to legendary stories like the White Snake or the Monkey King, and as well as stories of Chinese immigration in Canada. So that has widened my experience on the possibilities of storytelling and has enriched me and made me feel more fulfilled and grateful to be an artist of Asian heritage.
Actually, that's really resonating for me, because I do think that you need to experience and you need to see to believe, and to surround yourself with those people to really embody and feel a part of this community. So that's really inspiring, and that's a definite takeaway, to be a part of this culture, this wonderful, rich culture, and also to be proud of your background, whatever that may be. You have to experience, you have to meet people, and you have to surround yourself with the likes of your culture to really be inspired. So thank you so much. I do want to try, now we're going to attempt, I know we have like a couple, we've had some issues with the sound, but I'm going to try myself. Let me try, and then maybe I'll put it to Bob if it's not working. I'm going to share my tab. Can everybody see the YouTube? Yes. Okay. So let me see if I can share this, and let me know, Vanya, if you can, just put your hand up if you can hear it.
Sure.
This sensation, oh no, it's just the nearness of you.
Wow, that's just incredible. Like,
Well,
really,
thanks.
this gives me chills. I always wished that I had a nice voice, a singing voice. It's not going to happen for me.
Don't say that.
I am very, very inspired. Love your voice. Like I said, I think it's a very Disney princess voice, and that's kind of like my jam. So I love that. Thank you so much, Vanya. Before we go, I just need one key takeaway that you want to share with the classrooms, and how do you want to inspire the kids today?
Well, actually, if it's okay, I've got like 2 key takeaways very quickly. Well, first of all, practice being kind. So every day, do at least one kind thing for someone. Like, it could be like holding the door open for someone, or thanking someone for their hard work, or giving a family member or a friend a hug, just because creativity is, I believe, connected to kindness. So when we are kind, we are more open to other people, and we can learn from others, which can spark our creativity. Okay. And then the second one is keep a creativity journal and write in it every day, or even draw a little picture. You can write a short story or a poem or lyrics for a song, or you can even just dream and plan for something you'd like to do one day. So the main thing is you keep coming back to that journal and you keep writing in it. And once in a while, take a look back through the pages you've already written and see what you've come up with, because you can learn a lot about your creative self by reviewing what you've already written down. So I hope you try it out and have some fun with it.
I love that. And I also have a bit of a journal. It's not on paper, it's on my iPhone, but I do find that really helps, just to have somewhere to put your ideas. Vanya, it was really, really nice to have you today.
It's a pleasure.
Just wonderful stories today. All 3 artists are extraordinary in the music industry, and we're really, really quite lucky to have everybody here today, the 3 of them, Alice Chan, Chan Kanin, and Vanya Chan. It's been so lovely. So thank you so much again. Students, we can learn lots of things from their stories and from the tools and from the takeaways that they gave us. And thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much, Bo, and our three incredible guests. Oh my goodness. I can actually also give my own takeaway. Okay. My key takeaway first with Alice. All right. Like she's using her platform, her gift, to teach kids to be good and fight evil. And I am watching The Monkey is King. I was invited by Alice on June the 1st, so I'll be there. And I just heard Bob is doing so as well. And then for Chan Cannon, like I was just surprised that like all the experiences we have when we were young about the name, the use of his true name. And I think this is one thing I'd like to tell our kids, that you have to be very proud of yourself and your culture of who you are. The difference is what makes us very unique. And so we have to be very proud of it, because we are so different that we have so many things to share. And for Vanya, your voice is your superpower. My so powerful voice there, Vanya. And I was just thinking, I heard her sing at the Toronto City Hall last time, and she sang "O Canada" in Mandarin, and I wish we can do that, and we can end it with "O Canada" singing her singing that in Mandarin. That would be very, very powerful, and for our kids to really know that your voice is your superpower in music, and also really putting out your ideas out there, and be not afraid of who you are. So I think those are my key takeaways, and I'm sure Bob also has his own key takeaways. So Bob, take it away. Asian history is Canadian history, and we're so proud of our all contributions. So go ahead, Bob.
Thank you, Jody. Jody, you remind me of my my mother-in-law, who always wanted to put me on the spot to sing at dinner, and so I always say, well, if you pass the plate and take a collection, maybe I will. So Vanya, we don't want to put you on the spot unnecessarily.
I know that right now, definitely not. I just remembered, Leia Salonga. I met her when she was still young, and she is very, very good. She's also my like idol, She's really, really cool. So
I think she's influenced a lot of people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to speak about her as well. When I was on tour with Les Miserables, she performed Eponine with us when I performed in Hawaii. So it was a great honor to be able to sing with her. And I remember there have been just a couple of people in my life that I've heard voices, and I thought, well, they are touched from God. And she certainly was one of them. And many people have great gifts, but her voice is really, truly unique. And she's a wonderful person as well. So
yes, and Bob, you have a beautiful voice as well. So not a lot of people know that Bob is such a good singer too.
I was going to say, I recognize Bob from Toronto Operetta Theatre history. Right. So yes, we have that sort of in common. It's lovely to meet you.
Yes, indeed. I was going to say, I'm sure we know lots of people in common. I saw our mutual friend Greg Finney in one of your pictures there. So yes, so we have a lot of common history there. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, did we want to do some of these questions that were sent in by the students?
Yes, definitely. Let's post it there, Bob.
Sure.
Not sure if some of them might have already been discussed, but let's see which ones are still. What obstacles? Did we actually use that already? Okay, I think we have asked our guest there. I think that one happened as well.
Yep.
Did your family support your dreams of becoming a musician?
Well, we could ask Vanya.
Yeah, we can ask Vanya.
Yeah, Kenny answered that, but maybe we can have Vanya also share her story about her family support.
Yes, I was very fortunate. I'm very grateful that I have a family that's been wholeheartedly supportive of my music career and my early interests in music. There, of course, there's concern about being able to have a livelihood as a musician, and I've had, serious heart-to-heart talks with my mom and with my parents, but they know that regardless, I'm going to be drawn into this, and they know that there are ways of being a versatile musician and an educator and wearing many different kinds of hats to sort of completely supplement yourself as a working artist, and who's contributing and also being able to sustain a balanced livelihood. So I just definitely have to say that if it wasn't for the support of my family, I don't think I would have been able to pursue a career in the arts, because it is tough, it is difficult and challenging, and if I didn't have them as a backbone, I think I might have tried something different. But I'm very glad that I stayed in the arts, because I've met wonderful people, I've learned a lot, and I'm continuing to learn and grow every day. So yeah.
And do we still have another one, Bob? Bob,
Well, I think we
we touched
talked
on.
about that. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the last question that we have here.
Did you answer this already, Vanya? What makes you proud to be part of your culture? Yes. Okay. So
I
I
did,
have
yeah.
one question though. All right. Like if you can walk us through some perks, because we know there are a lot of challenges, but once you are also there and establish yourselves, they as musicians, what are the perks? What are the rewards in continuing to be in your field? Maybe you can start with Vanya and then followed by Alice.
I feel like I've been talking a lot. But I mean, I'm happy to start, but if anyone wants to jump in, please do. Okay. The perks. Well, perks. As I mentioned, I've met Alice and Kanin, and have gotten to sing their music, and the whole just being a part of that wonderful community of musicians has been one of the greatest perks in itself. Being a part of a production and being able to collaborate with others and see how they what they bring to the stage, what creativity they offer. There's just so much joy and so much adrenaline in live performance, and I think every time I do a show, a challenging show, I just feel so much more connected to the people that I worked with, and also I feel like I'd like to think I raised to another level of artistry that builds on confidence, and that makes me want to stretch and learn more roles or learn more music. So that's just it's sort of continuously feeding in itself with the perks, I think. But that's short answer.
Thank you. And Alice.
Yeah, I think Vanya spoke so eloquently already, but I think maybe I can express in a different angle. I never feel, success would be something that one have to pursue all the time, because I have seen, many artists want to, get grants and, win competitions. But I think for me, the guiding thing is always, right from the heart and create something that, work with a whole bunch of supportive, creative people. And also, I think if I may say, if my success means something to me, actually make me aware what I represent is important. And I'm glad perhaps I have a bit more voice now to maybe set a model for some younger women composers to follow my path. Your voice, your dreams, your ideas are important. You don't wait for permission to create. So it's the resilience and the strength that is important.
Thank you, Alice. Kanin?
I guess I have two words for it. One is ego and one is humble. I think in the arts area, if you are successful, people love your work, you kind of have that ego. Of course, that would be the perks. People admire you. They give you awards. That's great. then when they don't give you award, when you get a bad review, that really humbles you as well. So it is a challenging world, and just do the best and stay confident with what you do.
Thank you. And any last words, Bo and
I'm
Bob?
just gonna interject one
Yes.
thing too. I mean, let's not forget to state the obvious, and the money that you make from the industry is a perk as well. I mean, I know as a father and a grandfather, supporting my family is very important. And without, I mean, they call it show business, not show favor. So you know, we do want to make sure that we're compensated for the work that we do as artists. No matter the kind of music that you perform or create. So it is having it as a career is very valuable and as a way of making money.
Yes, and music is just so very inclusive as well, and you can just be yourself and do the things you really want and express it in a way you are so passionate about. So last words, Bo, before we end.
Yeah, well, actually, I want to tack on to what Bob is saying. I think that, there's a bit of a stereotype that artists aren't out there shining financially, but it is a very good career. And students who are inspired to create music or art, or even acting or singing, I think that it's definitely a viable career and livelihood. So there should be no stereotype about that. And, it's a lived experience. I've seen very many successful, not just the 3 artists we have here today, but the success is there out for you to grab. And the best part about this industry is that people who are in this industry are creative in doing what they love. So for all the students out there, do what you love and know that there is, you will have the support for sure. Like my Alice had said about grants, there's grants. Grants means that the government supports these creative art, music, and projects. So definitely just chase it. Just do it. Be creative and do what you love.
Thank you. And patience is kill, as we heard today. And of course, really making sure that you love the thing that you want to do. So we just heard so many good examples. So we have our 3 models here about Asian contributions in the musical arts. And I am just so happy to have you all here. So again, students, so many things to learn today that you have learned today that probably you can talk to your teachers and your parents as well if this is some passion that you have and you want to pursue. So we gave you some tips already and the skills and values that you might need to draw on and pursue whatever you want. So thank you again to our guest, and Bob, you are just the angel that I needed today. And have a good one, everyone. It's such a fantastic day to enjoy. Bye.